Hello friends, how do you feel? Fine? Grammar you like? You enjoy? Yes, very good. So, we continue with our partitive use of of. You remember that, no? Partitive. Partitive use. Partitive use of of. So that's all. So we saw some of several of etc. Now today we have two expressions, just two, that is the majority of and the most of. Look at the sentences, then it becomes clear. The majority of boys are playing. The majority of girls are singing. So that's it. So there is a class in the majority of them. There are three forms, you can see. Isn't it? They are two-thirds. They are boys are playing. See here you can see all. So you have a class. You remember my picture, a class here. You have 30 students. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 30. Majority means, say out of 30 you will say 20. So 20. So 20 of them. So from this whole you take part. And in this case, you will find that boys, noun, girls, noun, they are count nouns. Count, C-O-U-N-T. You can count them. No? Isn't it? You can count them. So with count nouns, you use the majority. Then what about uncount nouns? You use most of. So see, we say like this, most of the water is singular. Here it is plural. Here it is plural, but here it is singular. Most of the water is clear. Clean, you can say clean. Most of the water is clean. Most of the water is clean, uncount. Majority of is plural used with count nouns. And most of is singular used with the uncount nouns. Most of the ink, you can see, most of the ink is red. Most of the ink is red. Some ink is white. Most of the food has been, see singular, eaten. Most of the food has been eaten, singular. Understand the difference? Majority of and most of. Same meaning is almost the same. Majority of girls, majority of boys, majority of, the cap. Majority of boys, majority of men, majority of women, the majority of teachers. The majority of teachers are very hardworking. All the teachers are hardworking. Just give you an example. So the majority of is used with count nouns and also there is plural. But most of is used with uncount nouns. Most of the water, most of the ink, most of the majority of buses is used. But you can say most of the sky. Most of the sky is clear. Most of the sky is clear. Most of the butter is good. Most of the milk is spoiled because of some reason. Most of the curd can be eaten or is good. Most of the curd is good. Most of the honey is sweet. Some honey is not sweet, it's bitter. Opposite of sweet is bitter. I think that point is clear. The majority of used with count nouns, and that is plural. Most of same meaning used with uncount nouns, singular. Alright, very good. So far so clear. Now we come back to another point. Now I write like this. See, most of the houses in this locality are, see, most of the houses in this place, locality is a big word, in this place are, most of the houses in this place are big, okay. Big houses, big houses. You don't want that, okay, then let's say another thing. Let's have another. Most of the schools are working well. Most of the schools are working well. See? Most of the teachers are hardworking. So, just now I told you most of can be used only with the count nouns. But now you are using it with the uncount nouns and the subject is plural. How do you explain this? Very easy. Here the most of is the superlative degree of many. Most of is the superlative degree of many. Comparative, more. Comparative, cleverest. Superlative is cleverest. So in this case, this is the superlative degree of many. Now, I'll give you a very simple way you can see. Most of the water is clean. See, here it is used with the uncount noun and the verb is singular. Here it is used with. Here we say it is. How do you know? How do you prove this? Very easy. If we can convert this sentence, rewrite this sentence by using many, that means this is the superlative of many. See, for example, instead of most of the schools, we can say many schools. Many schools are working well. Most of the teachers, you can say many teachers. Many teachers are hardworking. But this you cannot. Can you say many of the water? Many of the water. You cannot say. Simple. So you will ask me this question, huh? Sir, how will you find out one most of is the superlative degree of many, the other most of is not the superlative degree of many. All what you have to do is, if you can rewrite most of by using many, that means that most of is the superlative degree of many. If you cannot rewrite, that means that most of is used with the uncount nouns and that is singular. Okay, we can take one more example, two more examples. Any number of examples, but instead of making things complicated, so one or two examples will do. Okay, let's see. You find out whether it is the superlative degree of many or not. So I am going to write like this. Not many, but most of most of the streets are empty. Empty. Here you have got most of the floor. Okay, let's say the most of the sky. Yes. Sky is blue. Most of the sky is blue. Some disturbance in some other part. Okay. So this most, what is the status of this most of? First most of and second most of. First most of is the superlative degree of many. How do you know? You try to rewrite this using many, then sentence will be alright now. Many streets are empty. Okay? Here you cannot say many sky. Many skies are blue. You cannot say this. So this is superlative degree of many. This is not. Sometimes you may get tricky questions like this. Say in the exam, you get a question like this. You look at it. Many of the buildings are tall buildings. Now you have a question like this. Without changing the meaning, rewrite the sentence without changing the meaning. Rewrite the sentence without changing the meaning. So how do you write it? Most of the building. What is this? Sir told us that most of the can be used only with the uncounted noun. Here it is count nouns and how to rewrite it without changing the. Then it's very easy. You can say many. Most of the other way around. Many of the buildings are tall. So most of the rewrite. Most of the buildings are tall. Or the other way around also you can see. See, the question is like this. Question, when I explained the question, I made a mistake. I agree. But the point is this. This is interchangeable. Most of with count nouns is interchangeable with the many. Then you can say most of is the superlative of many. You are given a sentence like most of the buildings are tall. You are asked to rewrite without changing the meaning. How do you rewrite? You can use many. But this is not possible with the uncounted nouns. No? Most of the ink is most of the ink is used. Most of the ink is used. You cannot say many of the ink is used. So here it is most of partitive use of with the uncounted nouns. Here it is with count nouns, but it is the superlative degree of many. Hope it is clear, very clear to you. Have a nice time, enjoy your life, learn grammar, enjoy grammar, because grammar will be, once learned, it is always with you. Understand that? Basic, then you will say, so what about other subjects? Other subjects, they change. Grammar doesn't change. There may be slight changes. Let's say, like once upon a time you used it's I, now you say it's me. Those things are very simple, but use of articles, use of tenses, everything remain the same. So it is a lifetime asset if you learn grammar. Bye. Have a nice day.